Shalom, shalom, Yisrael. Worldwide, 12 tribes strong. I was just thinking about another one of the weird doctrines that's like in the Christian church. Again, talking as one who was pastored for 21 years, so it's not like I don't have experience in the area that I'm talking about. Oh boy. So what is the deal with First Sunday? Well, child, you know it's First Sunday. First Sunday's coming. You got the first Sunday we're gonna, first Sunday, what is First Sunday? Well, I mean, I know obviously it's the first Sunday of the month. That's obvious, of the Gregorian calendar month. But I mean, but what is First Sunday? Like, how did First Sunday become like the Sunday? First Sunday. That's when we're gonna do communion on First Sunday. Who told you to get together? Or who told you that First Sunday is the day that you come together and have communion? And it's the same Hebrews. Think about this now. Same Hebrew Israelite, unconscious Hebrew Israelite pastors who will argue on whether you should have it in the morning, the afternoon, or the night. Well, you don't do the Lord's Supper in the morning. No, you gotta do it at night. Someone say, no, you gotta do it in the evening. No, you gotta do it in the church. No, you gotta do it, you can't do it in, I'm like, and that's on the first Sunday. I'm not putting nobody down. I'm just saying, where do we get that from? That is not in scripture anywhere. And then you turn around and say, okay, hey, how about keeping the Passover? And then people will be like, huh? Passover? What's the Passover? And you're like, what's communion? It's the Lord's Supper. What is the Lord's Supper? It's what we do on First Sunday. Oh, shoot. So let me get this straight. You do what you call the Lord's Supper on First Sunday, but you don't keep the Passover on the 14th of Abib. And you got that from seminary, or you got that from, where'd y'all get that from? I don't know where it came from. It came from the Catholic Church. Most likely you trace it back, it's going to be some type of heathen, pagan ritual that they did on the first Sunday, worshiping the sun with the Eucharist or something like that. That everybody had to partake in some kind of weird way, and then they just pushed it on you and told you that that's the way it's supposed to be done, and that's the way y'all do it. So say, man, at least you could have showed up on the first Sunday. Man, I gotta get me some suit. I gotta make sure I wear me a tie on the first Sunday. What is the first? That's, women all put on their white on the first Sunday. When the book literally says, remember the Shabbat. Remember the Shabbat to keep it holy. It's the longest commandment in the 10 Commandments. And it starts off with remember. And then you ask a person about the Shabbat, they say, what is that? So obviously they don't forgot. But they ain't forgot First Sunday. It's the first Sunday. First Sunday. Or maybe, just maybe, First Sunday is such a big deal because folk get paid on the first of the month. I have an excuse to get about 3 or 4 different offerings on the first Sunday. Zion, wake up. Wake up. Come out of all this man-made stuff. Let's worship Yahuwah in spirit or in the Ruach and in truth. In truth. And the truth is, when Rabbi Shaul talked about the Lord's Supper, which is the supper of Yahuwah, the Master, his supper, he was talking about the Passover meal where the lamb was slain. We're getting ready to celebrate that feast coming up in Passover, at Passover, when we tell the whole story of how the lamb was slain in Goshen and what day and what time, and how the blood had to be placed over the doorpost, and how our Hamashiach, and how the death angel passed over the children of Israel and those who were of the mixed multitude that also kept that particular feast. Yeah, we're going to celebrate that, and we're going to teach about it, and we're going to show how the Hamashiach fulfilled every single one of those types. And while we do that, we're also going to explain to the people that the as often as you do it has nothing to do with First Sunday. Y'all can, it's not First Sunday. As often as you do it, he means as you do it every year. Every year that you do this feast, you are to do it in remembrance of him. That's all he's saying. As often as you do it. Every year that you do this, during the Passover, now that the Messiah has come, every year that you now keep the feast, because remember he says, let us keep the feast in Corinthians chapter 5, verse 8. So he's saying every year that we keep the feast, as often as we keep this feast, it is a yearly feast. Let us do it in remembrance of him. Has nothing to do with First Sunday.